All right, let's talk about something you've probably seen a million times, but maybe never really thought about. Why are airplane windows round? I mean, really, why? Let's get into it. It's just one of those things that's always there. It's a part of the whole flying experience, right? We just accept it. But it turns out that specific shape is there for a reason, and it's not just a random design choice. So you're up there, cruising at 35,000 feet, looking out at the clouds, and the shape of the window probably feels like the last thing you need to worry about. But here's the crazy part. The answer to that simple question is one of the most important safety features on that entire plane. I mean, think about it for a second. The windows in your house, probably square. Your office, square. Even most car windows are basically rectangles. It's just the default. So what makes airplanes so special? Why do they get to break the rule? And that's exactly what we're going to unpack, because the reason is way more interesting than you might think. And no, it's not just about looking cool. You'd be forgiven for thinking it's just a design thing, a sleek, futuristic look. It kind of feels a little more jet set, doesn't it? It makes sense, but it's totally wrong. The actual reason has nothing to do with style. In fact, it's literally a matter of life and death. The safety of every single flight you take hinges on that simple curve. To really get why this is so critical, we actually have to go back in time, back to the dawn of the jet age, and to a series of absolutely terrifying disasters that left everyone scrambling for answers. So, picture this. It's the early 1950s. Commercial jet travel is this brand new, glamorous thing. But that excitement, it turned into absolute horror when, seemingly out of nowhere, planes started just falling apart in midair. Can you imagine? Investigators were completely stumped until they found one tiny, fatal flaw. And the culprit wasn't the engines. It wasn't the wings. It was the windows. Yep, the reason these planes were crashing, their windows were square. Okay, I know what you're thinking. How on earth can a square window bring down a whole airplane? Well, it all comes down to some pretty basic physics and the incredible danger hidden in a simple corner. All right, let me break it down. First off, any sharp corner on a structure is a natural weak spot. It just is. Now, second, when a plane gets up to cruising altitude, the pressure inside the cabin is way, way higher than the thin air outside. We're talking a huge difference. So what happens? All of that immense pressure doesn't spread out. Instead, it gets focused like a laser beam right onto those four weak corners. And eventually, boom, the metal just gives way. So, if square corners are basically death traps at 30,000 feet, what's the solution? Well, it's an incredibly simple and elegant one. And yeah, you've probably figured it out by now. It's all about how the stress is handled. With a square window, all that pressure hammers away at those four corners, creating those deadly weak points. But a round window? It has no corners. There's nowhere for the stress to build up. Instead, the pressure just flows smoothly and evenly all the way around the frame. It takes a massive problem and just solves it. A point of failure becomes a fortress of safety. So yeah, that little round window is so much more than just a window. It's not a style choice, it's a non-negotiable piece of engineering. It's a powerful lesson in physics that unfortunately had to be learned the hard way, and it's what keeps us all safe up there in the sky. And it really makes you think, doesn't it? What other clever, life-saving designs are all around us just hiding in plain sight? Things we look at every single day and never give a second thought to. Well, that's something to keep an eye out for. Thanks so much for tuning in.